Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. It is Thursday, August 6th. This is your afternoon update for the top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app, filling you in on everything you need to know here in Northeast Ohio. When we get into it today, we'll start off with the shocking news that Governor Mike DeWine has tested positive for COVID-19. We'll tell you everything we know about that and when we will hear from the governor, which will be today. We'll also let you know what political leaders are saying in reaction to learning that Governor Mike DeWine has tested positive for COVID-19 and take a look at the new numbers just out from the Ohio Department of Health and how that's looking today. Our cases and our deaths are down today from yesterday. Also, President Donald Trump has arrived in Ohio. We'll let you know when he will be, where he will be in Ohio, and what he had to say about Governor Mike DeWine. And then we'll take a look at what's going on between Cleveland and Cincinnati in the series and also what they're saying back and forth on social media. First up, we start with important information about Governor Mike DeWine that he has tested positive for COVID-19. He got those test results today when he was preparing to meet President Donald Trump, as it is required of anyone who will be in close contact with the president that they be tested for COVID-19. And those results did come back positive today for Governor Mike DeWine. His office says that he is not showing any symptoms, so he left to return to Columbus. And once he gets back to Columbus, as he was on his way, he and his wife, Fran DeWine, who also is not showing any symptoms of COVID-19, will be retested. Governor Mike DeWine does plan to quarantine at his home in Cedarville, Ohio for the next 14 days. Lieutenant Governor John Husted was also tested for COVID-19 as part of the protocol for Trump arriving here in Ohio, and he tested negative. Now, we will hear from Governor Mike DeWine today. He had initially canceled his press conference for today, postponing it until tomorrow, but his office has said we will hear from him at 4:30 p.m. So we will have that for you on WKYC.com, also on our WKYC app, and all of our social media platforms as well, Facebook and YouTube. Now, people are reacting to the news that Governor Mike DeWine tested positive for COVID-19, and everyone is wishing him well, which is to be expected. The House of Representatives Minority Leader Amelia Sykes said this. She said, "The coronavirus is real, and we should all remember that no one is out of reach of its grasp. Take care, Ohio." She said that while specifically wishing DeWine well. Dayton's Mayor Nan Whaley sent the governor wishes for good health and a quick recovery. Others sent their well wishes, talked about what a great leader DeWine has been for the state of Ohio and that they hope that he does remain asymptomatic. Many people said they hope he does remain asymptomatic. People who wished him well included Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and also author Connie Schultz, who is married to U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown. And writer Molly McHugh said very pointedly, "Be well, Governor Mike DeWine. Keep pushing for what is important, like testing." That brings us to our latest results of testing here in Ohio from the Ohio Department of Health. Those numbers came out this afternoon. We are getting very close to 100,000 total cases of COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio. When we look at the numbers dating back to March 9th, if we continue at the pace that we have seen with new daily reported cases, we will be there in a few days. However, from yesterday, new daily reported cases are down a bit and deaths are down by a few, but new hospitalizations are up. So let's get into those exact numbers. In the last 24 hours, we've seen 1,166 new reported cases of COVID-19. That brings our total now to 97,471 known cases dating all the way back to March 9th. Now remember, March 9th is when we first learned of COVID-19 being here in Ohio, but antibody testing has shown the experts that it was likely here as early as January, possibly earlier than that. The Ohio Department of Health is now reporting that they believe 76.5% of those cases that we've known of since March 9th have recovered at this time. So that means about 23.5% of those cases are currently active. We don't have an update on a daily positivity rating today, but we do have the 7-day positivity rating average of 5.5%, which is just above the World Health Organization's recommended threshold of 5%. The number of new reported deaths in the last 24 hours is 22, bringing that total now to 3,618. And in the last 24 hours, there have been 145 new hospitalizations reported. That's up from yesterday when there were 112 new hospitalizations reported. The total number of people who have been hospitalized related to COVID-19 is now 11,366 in the state of Ohio. And right now, there are currently 979 people hospitalized related to COVID-19. That's down from 25 yesterday. So when we take a look at those new hospitalizations that have come in and people who have been discharged from the hospital, there have been more that have been discharged than the new that have come in. So that brings that total to 979 in the hospital right now today. Of those 979 people, 342 of them are in the ICU. That's up 2 from yesterday, and that makes 35% of all active hospitalizations are receiving ICU treatment at this time. We saw 18 new ICU admissions in the last 24 hours, bringing that total number now to 2,627 people who have received ICU treatment related to COVID-19. And the current statewide hospital bed occupancy is at 74%. So that has stayed the same from yesterday. So that means that 26% of all the hospitals in the state are available for someone who needs one for COVID-19 or for any other reason. Now let's take a look at the national and the global numbers for COVID-19. This comes from Johns Hopkins University, and what we're seeing in the last 24 hours is a big jump in both US and global reported deaths. In the US, we now have just over 4.8 million known cases of COVID-19. That number is 4,852,749. And the number of deaths currently reported in the US is 159,407. That's a pretty sizable jump from yesterday. That's 2,141 new deaths reported in the US since yesterday. We are still holding strong at 26% of the global cases of COVID-19 here in the US and 22.4% of the global deaths here in the US. Globally, there are now just under 19 million known cases of COVID-19. That number is 18,895,712, and there are now a total of 710,110 deaths globally. That's a big jump in global deaths. That's almost 8,000 new global deaths in the last 24 hours. That exact number is 7,946. President Donald Trump did arrive in Ohio this afternoon. He arrived at 1:30 p.m. today at the Burke Lakefront Airport, and when he arrived, he wished Governor Mike DeWine well. He said that he had been looking forward to seeing the governor, but then he was informed that DeWine tested positive for COVID-19, and he called DeWine a great guy, said that he's done a fantastic job here, and he said that Lieutenant Governor John Husted was there to greet him. Now he is on his way to Clyde, Ohio, where he's expected to tour the Whirlpool facility. He was expected to arrive there at around, he was expected to make comments there at around 3:15, so any moment now. And then he'll go on to Bracknell, the Shoreby Club, where he is having a fundraiser, and that is expected to kick off at 6 p.m. We did learn, our 3 News investigative reporter Mark Namick learned that everyone there will be taking the rapid COVID-19 tests to make sure that the people who come in contact with the president have not tested positive at that time. And as we told you before, it costs $5,600 to get into that event at the Shoreby Club, and if you pay $100,000, you're expected to get extra access to the president and other people who will be at that fundraiser. Now let's switch gears and let's talk about what's going on in Major League Baseball. There's a little bit of a Twitter feud happening between the Cincinnati Reds and our Cleveland baseball team. They're in the middle of a series. They played their first 2 games in Cincinnati, and then on Wednesday, Cincinnati came up here to Cleveland. Now, when they arrived, the Reds tweeted, "Cleveland, so nice, LeBron left it twice." Ouch. Well, Cleveland replied to Cincinnati right away. By the way, the person who runs the Cleveland baseball Twitter account is my hero because they are excellent at social media. So Cleveland replied and said, "How many titles has your NBA team won in Cincinnati?" Cincinnati said, "They've never lost a game." That's a little bit confusing there. What they left out was the fact that their NBA team left them in the 70s. Their entire team, not just a player. Cleveland, though, being classy, let that one slide, and they just said, "Nice, go eat some ground beef pasta," or whatever it's called. It's called Skyline Chili, by the way, if you're not in the know, and people in Cincinnati love their Skyline Chili. I've had it. I'm just going to say I don't get it. It's not for me. but they definitely love it. I know there's a lot of people in Northeast Ohio here who love it too. Anyway, we are up 2-1 in the series against the Reds right now, and they will play again tonight. So we already won the Ohio Cup. Go Cleveland, that's right. But they play again tonight at 6:10 p.m. at Progressive Field to finish things up. That's it for your 3 News Now afternoon update. I will see you at 5 p.m. on What's New with your trending stories and also more reaction to what people are saying about Governor Mike DeWine testing positive for COVID-19. And then I'll see you back here tomorrow for your 3 News Now update in the morning. Everyone enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'll see you at 5 on What's New, which you can stream in the WKYC app. I'm Stephanie Haney.